Welcome back to part two. Yeah, so right now I'll be showing the how I add the tones. So let's start with the dark tones. First of all, let's assign a blending mode to each of these two. So I'd like to change it to the dark tone should be multiply, and then the blending mode for the light tone should be linear dodge. Multiply actually helps you to darken the color of whatever it is that you're painting over with another color. So if you're using blue over this color, it's like it's adding blue to this and darkening it at the same time. So it kind of gives you this shadow with an ambient light passing through it. So maybe if the person was standing in broad daylight, even though the sunlight is kind of whitish or yellowish, the shadows will kind of have some bluish tint to it. So that's what multiply does basically. And then the linear dodge that I'll be using for the light tones, that one also is similar to the multiply. It lightens the color of objects, or let me say the whatever it is that you're going to paint on, and it adds that color that you choose to it at the same time. So it's like a brighter color that you've chosen onto the skin tone. Let me demonstrate that. Let's start with the dark tones. So first we'll do a selection for the dark tones. So my light's also be coming from this side above her face a bit. So kind of where she's pointing her face towards, not where she's looking, but like where her face is pointing towards, but a bit higher than that. So somewhere around here. Let me just indicate that over here. So let's say the light's coming from here. And then I'll make a rim light come from, let's say, this side. This is not part of the work, it's just to demonstrate to show you where the light source is coming from. So these are the two basic lights I'll be using. Whichever part of the body is not pointing towards the light will be darkened. Okay. Yeah, so with the dark tones, I usually choose a bluish color since blue represents cold. So I bring it a bit lighter because whatever it is I'm going to add onto the skin is going to darken it. So if I overdo it, it's going to be too much. So let's say if I use this color, a darker version of blue, the moment I pass it over, look at what's going to happen. It's too dark. But when I bring it closer to this whitish blue, I get it dark, but it's kind of better than the other one. You see the difference? Yeah, so I usually bring it closer to this side. Yes, perfect. So the light's coming from here. And that means this whole area will be dark below the chin. So I just select that area. Yes. Yeah, so I'm making sure the selection doesn't show, or it's going to give this contrast and difference between the light, the shadow, and then the skin. I don't want that to be seen. And then I'll try to smoothen the edges of the selection. Yes, so I'm not just going to paint over it like this. This is going to be too flat. But I'll reduce the size a bit and then use the edge of the brush tip, or let me say the cursor, and then I'll bring it from which side of the shadow will be darker, because since this side has been hidden from the light more than this side. This side is going to be darker, so I'll bring the brush over here and then just paint over it like this, like so. Yes, good, exactly how I want it. Let me try that again. So that's basically what I will do throughout the whole process of the darkening. So I think I'm gonna time lapse this part so I don't waste your time on this same step. So I'll get back to you guys when I'm done. Right, so that's it for the dark tones. As you can see, I basically just imagined where the light will not be illuminating, and then I applied the multiply blending mode stuff at those areas. So since the light is coming from here, it won't be touching this side, and then the hair will create a shadow here, and then the chin will also create a shadow here. So basically that's the only concept I'm basing on to do this. So let's quickly jump onto the light tones. Yeah, so we already created a layer for that, and we used linear dodge blending mode. Alright, so for that we're going to choose a color close to orange because the light is orange over here, as you can see, and also orange because orange is a warm color, so it kind of gives us a feel of warmth on her face. I'm choosing a darker color because it's in linear dodge, so if it was to be too bright like this, you just see what happens. Alright, take my soft brush, look at that. But if it were to be a darker color, see, so it's kind of giving me a brighter version of whatever I choose. So it's brightening the brown skin that she's having and then applying that color to it as well. So since this color is too bright, it's going to be too bright over here. But when I make it a bit darker, it's going to give me a brightening of the skin tone with this color. So like this instead. Perfect. So yeah, so let's go ahead and use the lasso tool to select the areas. Yeah, so from this point, I'm going to go over what I've already done by adding lighter tones to what I've already placed over here. So I'll be choosing a lighter color closer to white. Then I'll gently apply that on top of the light tones that I've already done. At a specific points, that'll be brighter, way brighter. Alright, so just try to predict where it's gonna be again, like I did before. Make sure it stays within the borders of the first. Okay. So now that we are done with the light tones, let's move on to the rim lights that I indicated over here. So first I like to create a new layer because I'll create a new layer and then place it on top of the line art because I want the line art to also glow along with the skin color. I'll show you in a bit. So a new layer, and then the rim light is directly on the subject, this side of the subject, and so I have to let me duplicate the masking I did over here for the base colors. I press and hold Alt, pull that to this layer that we're going to use for the rim lights. Let me just call it rim lights right now. Rim light. Yes. So right now, whatever I'll do on this layer will only appear on the subjects, just like what we had in the base colors. Good. So I'll change the blending mode of this also to linear dodge, just like what we did for the lights tones. Sorry, linear dodge. So if I choose this color, the color of the rim lights, you see how it looks? Yes, that's exactly the kind of effect I want. Yeah, so basically that's how I do my how I color my artworks. So as you can see, I only have like how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just 7 layers, and it's not going to demand a lot from your computer's hardware. So yeah, it's just as simple as this. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end, and feel free to leave a comment and subscribe if you want to keep seeing what I've been doing. I'll be making more videos about how I draw and then how I edit them or color them in Photoshop. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.